Welcome back to Mass Effect. JC here. And yes, you can tell from the top left, it is Codex time. So it is story and lore time with JC. Also, bad pronunciation, bad reading, and generally half an hour of potential audio torture. Yes, you're never going to get ASMR from my channel. It's more like audio torture. So, in the last episode we did actually pick up a new Codex entry, and it looks like it's that one, because we got there last time. And now it's blinking here. So, it's another bit of space combat. General tactics. Right. So in general tactics, shells lofted by surface navies crash back to Earth when their acceleration is overwhelmed by gravity and air resistance. Yeah, so it's basically talking about normal old battleships and cannons and stuff. In space, a projectile has unlimited range. It will keep moving until it hits something. Yep, that's what it means to fly in a vacuum. Practical gunnery range is determined by the velocity of the attacker's ordnance and the manoeuvrability of the target. Beyond a certain range, a small ship's ability to dodge trumps a larger attacker's projectile speed. The longest ranged combat occurs between dreadnoughts, whose projectiles have the highest velocity but are the least manoeuvrable. The shortest range combat is between frigates, which have the lowest projectile velocities and highest manoeuvrability. Dum dum dum. Cruisers are that sort of get shat in range between both of them. They just get shot by everything. Opposing dreadnoughts open with a main gun artillery duel at extreme range of tens of thousands of kilometers. The fleets close, maintaining evasive lateral motion while keeping their bow guns facing the enemy because there's no drag, so you can go sideways. Fighters are launched and attempt to close to disruptor torpedo range. Cautious admirals weaken the enemy with ranged fire and fighter strikes before committing to close action. Aggressive commanders advance so cruisers and frigates can engage. At long range, the main guns of cruisers become useful. Friendly interceptors engage enemy fighters until the attackers enter the range of ship-based guardian fire. Dreadnoughts fire from the rear, screened by smaller ships. Commanders must decide whether to commit to a general melee or retreat into FTL. Depends on the, as we've done with the combat endurance. Actually, combat endurance would start to kick in around about this point. Only fighters and frigates enter close knife fight ranges of 10 or fewer kilometers. Just to put that into perspective for scale here, knife fight is 10 or less kilometers. These are big ships still. Fighters lose their disruptor torpedoes, bringing down the ship's kinetic barriers and allowing it to be swarmed by freighters. Frigates. I can do words, me. Guardian lasers become valuable weapons, swatting down fighters and boiling away warship armour. Neither dreadnoughts nor cruisers can use their main guns at close range. laying the bow on a moving target becomes impossible. Superheated thruster exhaust becomes a hazard. Right, well, I made a meal out of that one, didn't I? Now we're on to ship sizes, which is kind of handy because we just talked about them in the general tactics. Right, starships, cruisers. Cruiserweight starships are the standard combat unit encountered away from large naval bases. The poor bloody infantry of most fleets. Nimble scouting frigates have neither the punch nor the stamina to stand up to serious combat, and the mighty dreadnoughts are a strategic resource, carefully hoarded and committed to the most critical battles. Cruisers perform the routine independent show the flag patrols in settled systems and lead flotillas of frigates in small engagements, such as pirate suppression campaigns. In major fleet engagements, cruiser squadrons support the dreadnought battle line by screening their flanks against enemies attempting to maneuver for a main gun bow shot from their vulnerable broadsides, flanking. Alliance cruisers are named after cities of Earth, London, etc. Does come in. It comes up possibly the end of this game, definitely at some point in the second game. Dreadnoughts. Dreadnought is the ultimate arbiter of space warfare. Millions of tons of metal, ceramic, and polymer dedicated to the projection of firepower against an enemy vessel of like ability. No sane commander would face a dreadnought with anything less than another dreadnought. Which is why the Turians stomp on everyone, because they've got more dreadnoughts than everybody else. A dreadnought's power lies in the length of its main gun. Dreadnoughts range from 800 meters to 1 kilometer long, with the main gun of similar length, I'd say. Hey, if you think I'm going to be able to pronounce that, I'm brain farting. So yeah, an 800 meter mass accelerator is capable of accelerating one 2 kilogram slug to a velocity of 283 kilometers per second every 2 seconds. So it fires once every 2 seconds. Ouch. Each slug has kinetic energy of 38 kilotons of TNT, 3 times the energy released by the fission warhead that destroyed Hiroshima. Just different pronunciations. Shush. Where are we? Top of the screen, moron. Yeah! When used to bombard planets, some of this kinetic energy is lost due to atmospheric re-entry friction. As a rule of thumb, each Earth atmosphere of air pressure saps approximately 20% of the projectile's impact energy. The Turian fleet presently has 37 dreadnoughts, the Asari 21, the Solarians 16, humanity has 6, with an additional hull under construction at Arcturus Station. Alliance battleships are named for mountains of Earth. Everest class is Everest. Fiji? Erebus. Kilimanjaro is Kilimanjaro. Taoseti. Taotian. Yeah, that's nice. Thanks for giving me names I can't pronounce. Sod off. Fighters! Yay, the little dudes. Fighters are single pilot combat small craft. They are lightweight enough that they can be economically fitted with powerful element 0 cores, making them capable of greater acceleration and sharper maneuvering than starships. Kinetic barrier shields charged starships battles. Short, vicious. Oh wait. It helps if you read the entire sentence at once. Kinetic barrier shields changed starship battles from short, vicious bloodbaths to extended, indecisive slugging matches. Wow. The sentence makes so much sense when you've actually read the whole thing. Who would have thought? Only the main gun of a dreadnought could punch a mass accelerator slug through the barriers of an opposing dreadnought. This changed with the development of the fighter-launched mass disruptor torpedo, a short-range weapon that can penetrate kinetic barriers to destroy their projector assemblies. Yep. You go in and you start sniping off all the projectors, and then a hole will appear in their shields because they won't be able to project them properly. Ship Guardian defences must be overwhelmed through swarm tactics. Fighter groups can take heavy casualties pressing their torpedo attacks home. Once fighter-launched torpedoes have crippled an enemy's barriers, the mass accelerators on frigates and cruisers can make short work of them. Interceptors are a type of fighter optimised to attack other fighters. No ability to damage starships, plural. Interceptors are used to screen friendly units from incoming fighter attack. Slightly different from standard definitions, because you'd have a fighter which is actually used for fighting other fighters to get space or air superiority. The ones deploying ordnance would normally be classed as bombers, and the interceptors are there to intercept bombers. Fighters are left to fight each other. But obviously, space decides, nah, we're not going to have any bombers. That role gets taken over by fighters. Okay, whatever. Frigates! Like ours. Our ship, the Normandy, is a frigate. It's a little bugger. Oh god, we're only halfway through the episode. Oh, right. Carry on. Frigates are light escort and scouting vessels. They often have extensive guardian systems to provide anti-fighter screening for capital ships, and carry a squad of marines for security and groundside duty. Unlike larger vessels, frigates are able to land on planets. No, let's rephrase that. All ships can land on planets. They just don't last when they do. It's called crashing. Right. Frigate drive systems allow them to achieve high FTL cruise speeds. They also have potentially larger thrusters and lighter design mass, allowing them to maneuver more handily. In combat, speed and maneuverability makes a frigate immune to the long-range fire of larger vessels. In the time it takes projectiles to reach them, frigates are no longer where they were predicted to be, because they've just gone whoop, jink. In fleet combat, frigates are organised into wolf-pack flotillas of 4 to 6. Wolf-packs speed through enemy formations, hunting enemy vessels whose kinetic barriers have been taken down by fighter-launched disruptor torpedoes. Wolf-packs circle strafes vulnerable targets, using their superior speed and maneuverability to evade return fire. Alliance frigates are named for great battles in human history. Normandy? Yup. Kind of a big one. Right, here we go. Starships. Heat management. Dispersal of heat generated by onboard systems is a critical issue for a ship. If it cannot deal with heat, the crew may be cooked within the hull, because there's no popping outside to get a quick little, chill, being vacuum and all. Radiation is the only way to shed heat in a vacuum. Civilian vessels utilize large, fragile radiator panels that are impossible to armor. Warships use diffuse radiator arrays, a DRA, ceramic strips along the exterior of the armored hull. These make the ship appear striped to thermographic sensors. Since the arrangement of the stripes depends on the internal configuration of the ship, patterns for each vessel are unique and striking. On older ships, the DRA strips could come red or white hot, dubbed tiger stripes or war paint by humans. The glowing DRA has a psychological impact on pirates and irregular forces. Yo, I'm showing my stripes. Rah! Huh? Where's your stripey? Kaboom. Ah, that's why he's all stripey. Stripe radios are not as efficient as panels, but if damaged by enemy fire, the ship only loses a small portion of its total radiator capacity. In most cases, a vessel's DRA alone allows it to cruise with no difficulties. Operations deep within a solar system can cause problems. A ship engaged in combat can produce titanic amounts of heat from maneuvering burns and weapons fire. When fighting in a high heat environment, warships employ high efficiency droplet heat sinks. Okay, a droplet system. Tanks of liquid sodium or lithium absorb heat within the ship. The liquid is vented from spray nozzles near the bow as a thin sheet of millions of micrometer scale droplets. The droplets are caught at the stern and recycled into the system. A droplet system can sink 10 to 100 times as much heat as a DRA strip. So it sort of sprays it out so the heat's absorbed. It takes the heated liquid, fine mists it out the front, which then obviously freezes. potentially, flows back over the surface of the vessel, cooling as it's going because it's radiating all their heat, and is then collected back up at the stern, be put back into the tank, now cold. Yep, seems logical, although a bit strange. Droplet sheets resemble a surface warship's wake through the water. The wake peels out in sharp terms, spreading a fan of droplets as the ship changes vectors and leaves the coolant behind. So it is a lossy process. If you're manoeuvring while deploying, you're going to lose some. Right. Starships. Sensors. Light lag prevents sensing in real time at great distances. A ship flaring its thrusters, good grief, at the Charon relay can be easily detected from Earth 5.75 light hours, 6 billion kilometers away, but Earth will only see the event 5 hours and 45 minutes after it occurs, due to the light speed limit. Defenders can't see enemies coming until they have already arrived. Because there is FTL travel and communications, but no FTL sensors, frigates are critical for scouting and picket duties. Once again, the frigates get the short end of the stick. Passive sensors are used for long-range detection, while active sensors obtain short-range, high-quality targeting data. Passive sensors include visual, thermographic, and radio detectors that watch and listen for objects in space. A powered ship emits a great deal of energy. The heat of the life support systems, the radiation given off by power plants and electrical equipment, the exhaust from the thrusters, full stop. Starships stand out plainly against near absolute zero background of space. Passive sensors can be used during FTL travel, but incoming data is significantly distorted by the effects of the Mass Effect envelope and Doppler shift. Active sensors are radars and high-resolution LDARs, laser detection and ranging, and emit a ping of energy and listen for the return signal. LiDARs have a narrower field of view than radar, but LiDAR resolution allows images of detected objects to be assembled. Active sensors are useless when a ship is moving at FTL speeds because it shoots out and it doesn't come back because you've moved. Combat drones. We're into vehicles, not starships. I was thinking, why would drones be in space? What? Oh, not quite. Drones are small robots used to support and supplement organic soldiers on the battlefield. They have no artificial intelligence of any kind, but follow fixed, minimally adaptive programs. Most varieties employ Mass Effect levitation to improve maneuverability. All modern armies rely on variable fleets of drones or routine soldiering, static garrison patrols, etc. The use of drones in non-critical duties, keeps manpower need down, and reduces casualties in low-intensity conflicts. Less advanced races and cultures with less sensitivity to casualties have correspondingly fewer drones in their inventory. Drones are of little use in conventional open field battles as they are poorly armed and armoured. In addition to combat drones, support drones are used to assist organic units in the field. Reconnaissance drones are small, stealthy craft that can screen combat units in the field and warn commanders when enemies are spotted. Electronic warfare drones supplement battlefield technicians, serving as mobile jammers and ELINT, or electronic intelligence gathering platforms. Right, somebody forgot to put the closing bracket on that one. Good job. Military and civilian police units utilise Dazzler drones equipped with powerful strobe lights to disorientate and subdue intruders using non-lethal force, because, you know, a blinking light show is definitely enough to put you on the floor. Drone formations are officially referred to as wings. I deploy the 4th assault drone wing on the left flank with an exclamation mark because he's shouting it. Rah! That kind of BS. Common soldiers often refer to friendly formations as flocks and enemy formations as swarms. Ablative armour. Oh, it's a short one, so we'll be able to knit this in and then we'll stop. That's another weapon. That's ablative armour, and then Guardian, which is the basically point defence. Right. A warship's kinetic barriers reduce the damage from solid objects, but can do nothing to block Guardian lasers, particle beams, and other forms of directed energy weapons. Lasers! The inner layer of a warship protection consists of ablative armour plates designed to boil away when heated. The vaporized armour material scatters the beam, rendering it ineffectual. A scaffolding is built around the interior pressure hull with sheets of ablative armour hung from the structure. Ships typically have multiple layers of armour separated by empty baffles. Space is often used for cargo storage. Cruisers, which lack the internal space to fit dedicated fighter hangars, store the shipboard fighter complement in the baffles. It's not unknown for enlisted crew to build illicit alcohol distilleries in some obscure corner of the baffles, safe from prying eyes. Because we all know that happens. Right. We just got that, and then 2 more. We're getting there. Eventually. Let's stick it back there. Right. Well, there we go. I managed to get through all of that with an average amount of screw-ups. Yay. Woohoo. So, on that note, thank you for watching. And until next time, this is JC.